is indeed a stage, but these men are no mere players.
We have the Prince of Wales here tonight. Hello! Hello! We are neighbours.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 British male comedians. For this list, we're looking at those male comedians from around the United Kingdom who are known as the funny men of stand-up. Number 10, Peter Kay.
You know Duffy, the Welsh songstress? Last 3 years I thought that poor cow were begging me for birdseed.
Effectively retired until the public again demands his return, Peter Kay crept onto the comedy scene in the late 90s, winning the So You Think You're Funny competition in 1997 and earning a Perrier Award nomination at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival the following year.
Oh no way, sunshine. Think again.
Oh, Mum, all I want is a pair of pissing trainers!
But his observational wit didn't go full mainstream until the early 2000s.
The international sign of the bill. Little signature in mid-air. Works in any country in the world, that.
Occupied with other successful projects, Kay wouldn't tour again until 2009, when an intended 4-night stand in Manchester ballooned to an over 100-show tour that included 40 nights in Manchester and 15 at London's O2 Arena.
The only time he ever saw my dad cry were at Butlins Filey, and when he trapped his balls at a sun lounger.
In fact, the tour earned a Guinness World Record as the most successful stand-up tour ever, showing to 1.2 million.
Yes, of course, the tour that doesn't tour, not touring on tour.
No, on tour. And then I'm going to remake Die Hard.
Number 9, Lee Evans.
But they wouldn't like it if we had a script and we stuck to our script. They wouldn't like that very much. You know, you get BT call you up to remind you to pay your bill, and they go, "Can I speak to the account holder, please?" And we go, "I am Spartacus."
Known in North America for his supporting roles in movies like There's Something About Mary.
You want me to get this for you?
No, I have to learn to do this myself.
The cheeky and uber-kinetic Lee Evans is a major force to be reckoned with in the comedy world. Evans is so hyperactive, in fact, that he goes through 2 suits a show, most of which have to be thrown out after 3 gigs due to the sweat.
You know when you get drunk, there's the point of no return when your body loses complete control. Do you know what I mean? You go, you kind of hang in there like this. You're,
But with his ridiculously strong ticket sales, which saw his 2010 tour sell £7 million worth of tickets in one day, he can afford to.
I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, will you do the band?
Sweat aside, Evans' bizarre mix of the observational and hyper-physical comedy means few funny men are willing or able to follow him. Number 8, Michael McIntyre.
This is how people without children leave the house. Shall we leave the house? Yes.
Son of the late Canadian comedian Ray Cameron, the London-born Michael McIntyre seemed to come out of nowhere in the 2000s before becoming the top-grossing comedian in the world by 2012.
Your sex is on fire? What are they talking about? What is the inspiration for this lyric? Darling, don't be alarmed.
Clean but cutting, the bobble-headed McIntyre collected numerous comedy awards and nominations along the way, including a 2009 British Comedy Award.
If I have to be naked in public, I'll be naked for a short amount of time as is humanly possible, okay? I will get my fresh new pants, will line them up, get the perfect distance away, take off all pants, put new pants on!
While his mass appeal makes him a draw for all walks of life, McIntyre did once cancel a gig just before showtime when he found out he would be performing for debt collectors. A strong stance for anyone so delightfully goofy.
I think it is really not exactly fighting the stereotype that people in Liverpool are stealing from the Liverpool football team.
Number 7, Eddie Izzard.
Star Wars, I mean, they're the Death Star. Death Star is almost like a New York name. The Death Star. Get to the point. What's that star? It's the Death Star. What does it do? It does death.
A category unto himself, Izzard was born in the colony of Aden in Yemen, a British colony prior to 1963, but rose from street performing to the UK club circuit in the late 1980s, and thanks to friend and fan Robin Williams, dominated it by the late 90s.
Well, the first page I ever learnt in French was full of things which are difficult to get into a conversation. Things like, the mouse is underneath the table, la souris est en dessous de la table. Just slip that in when you're buying a ticket to Paris.
Despite his success in dramatic roles, Izzard is nonetheless pure fried gold in comedy. With routines that range in style from Monty Python-like surrealism to Spike Milligan's stream of consciousness, the self-described male tomboy
it's male lesbian. That's really where it is, okay?
is also one of the few comedians able to milk legit laughs while not speaking the same language as his audience.
My last show, Glorious, I took to Paris and I did it in French. And the French people came and they stared at me with that look on their eyes of, quoi?
Number 6, Jimmy Carr.
I've got a theory as to why women buy so many shoes. It's because they spend so much time on their feet, walking around the shops, buying shoes.
Born in London to Irish parents, from the city of Limerick no less, and raised in Slough, the dark-haired, dark-eyed, and slightly pudding-faced Jimmy Carr is hardly the voice of the people, but they seem to love him anyway.
If you're young and your parents are getting divorced, it can be a very difficult time, but remember, it's not your fault. Your mum's a slut.
Serving up slow-burning one-liners and lorry loads of black comedy, Carr is as ready to spar with any would-be heckler as he is to host 8 out of 10 cats.
15% of prisoners are on drugs. How do they get hold of so many drugs in prison? I guess they're smuggled in by some arsehole.
Often banking on innuendo, puns, and double meanings, Carr is just as likely to make himself the joke, an ability that came in handy when he found himself in a tax scandal in 2012.
I have apologised, Sean, and in my defence... No, I got nothing.
Number 5, Russell Howard.
I heard one girl say to another, you can tell whether a bloke's really good in bed if he's intelligent and he's got a funny accent. So I felt compelled to wander over and go, excuse me.
Having risen through the ranks, Russell Howard caught a major break when he was added to the panel of Mock the Week in 2007.
Has anyone ever chased the rainbow? I did. You never forget it. I bet you didn't do this. Me and my little brother took a knife just in case the leprechaun acted up, right?
There, Howard became a household name, while his youth-tinged comedy helped counterbalance Frankie Boyle's bleak and consistently dark humor and Hugh Dennis's often stern, dad-like vibe. Parting ways with the show in 2010, Howard has found solo TV success with Russell Howard's Good News and has become a major live draw.
I made a terrible mistake. A mistake? A mistake is forgetting to put the bins out. Anything that involves you shooting someone 4 times should have a different word like, I don't know, murder.
As a touring comic, Russell's 2011 Right Here, Right Now tour was a complete sellout. And the man has been known to pack the Hammersmith Apollo more than once.
My parents can't say that someone's gay. They have to use ridiculous euphemisms. You should see my mum. Nigel? Ooh. Ooh, he likes to keep a skipping rope in the glove box.
Number 4, Billy Connolly.
And he jumped over and bit my leg. She sank her teeth in my BUM and called me
First working in the oil industry before striking it small as a folk singer, Connolly split with his musical partners, whom included Jerry Rafferty, and moved towards comedy in the early 70s, making his first big splash in 1975 with an appearance on Michael Parkinson's Chat Show.
He says, is that her? He says, aye. He says, where'd you leave a bum sticking up for? He says, I need somewhere to park my bike.
Billy broke the UK comedy class barriers throughout the 70s and 80s, and finally cracked the US in the 1990s.
You're going to be a dwarf in the next Hobbit movie. Were you excited about, are you a fan of the Hobbit, the Tolkien Hobbit series?
No.
American footing established, Connolly not only gained major respect in comedy, but also earned a movie death count that rivals only Sean Bean's.
Captain Bones! He died? And this is supposed to be a kid's movie.
Number 3, Ricky Gervais.
I've been referred to as a chubby funster. That's like a gay porn name, isn't it?
Pop singer, sitcom heavyweight, stand-up comedian. Ricky Gervais got the order of things all backwards. First coming to major public attention with The Office.
A sergeant major spends all his time training his men to be killers. He doesn't polish his own boots.
And seemingly omnipresent ever since, Gervais first took to the stage in a big way in 2001.
No one's calling their kid Adolf nowadays. No little Adolfs going to school. Loads of Brads and Angelinas, but no, look, you don't hear the teacher doing the register. Brad here, Angelina here, Adolf here.
Despite tackling controversial issues such as atheism, politics, and gay rights, RG's take on stand-up was well received and resulted in the Animals Tour and selling out shows in a Flash Fame Tour. Gervais also performed stand-up in the game Grand Theft Auto 4.
If I ever get cancer myself, I'm going to walk into the nearest hospital and go, right, I paid for that machine, get that little bald f***er off it.
Which was almost as controversial as his hosting of the Golden Globes. Almost.
The Golden Globes are to the Oscars what Kim Kardashian is to Kate Middleton, basically. What?
Number 2, John Cleese.
So you get huge laughs when you deal with taboo subjects, and that's one reason why my humour has a pretty black quality to it.
And now for something completely different. He's a legend of the comedy stage and star of the screen. But did you know John Cleese was also in Monty Python?
Well, what are you then? I'm French. Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king?
Oh, you did? All right then, enjoy some clips.
If you will not show us the Grail, we shall take your castle by force. You don't frighten us, English pig dogs.
A student of black comedy, Cleese uses his towering frame to his advantage in physical bits, but has also crafted some of the most gloriously verbose routines ever.
But last year, the government spent less on the Ministry of Civil Rights than it did on national defense.
Either out of necessity or his own boredom, Cleese has spent his twilight years touring the globe, dishing out his trademark biting humor through a series of acclaimed stage shows. Not that Cleese's comedy career has had many duds, but we're not sure why he waited so long to return to the stage.
All right, I apologize. You're really sorry? I'm really, really sorry. I apologize unreservedly.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Everyone said, oh, it's ridiculous. Mel Gibson playing a Scottish guy. That's not going to be very convincing. And look at him now. An alcoholic racist.
That tiresome servant of yours again.
Oh, budge up, budge up.
How dare you sit, sir, in the presence of your betters? Get up!
Oh, Christ, yes, I forgot.
You speak when you're spoken to!
I don't know if you know, but the mallard is the only animal which reproduces exclusively by gang rape.
America has never been about facts. It's been about belief. It's about looking at a fact and saying, no.
Number 1, Rowan Atkinson. Though he's known for Mr. Bean, Blackadder, and for the truly hip Not the 9 O'Clock News, Rowan Atkinson's stage act is virtually untouchable. Rather than traditional stand-up, Atkinson's sets drift into surrealism, advanced wordplay, and sketch comedy. And he's usually working solo as our guide through it all. Whether Keith mooning on invisible drums, or channeling the man who would be Bean, Atkinson doesn't need to say a thing to have people rolling in the aisles. Get him talking, though, and you get a whole other Rowan. One just as absurd and twice as deadpan, overpronouncing his B's with maximum authority.
You see, we've had a lot of trouble recently with boys taking out library books without library cards. Your son was caught, and I administered a beating during which he died. But you'll be glad to know...
Do you agree with our list? Who's your favorite British male comedian?
Money don't make my world go round. I'm reaching out to a higher ground.
Is that a philosopher?
Desiree.
The singer?
For more chuckle-inducing top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Money don't make my world go round. I'm reaching out to a higher ground.